You are on your third Zoom call today, your camera is on and you can see every pore in glorious 1080p. But while you are busy nodding at the screen, Zoom, the app that once carried the whole remote work world on its back, has quietly led the competition rabbit. Yep, the pandemic hero is now the kid at recess nobody picks first and the numbers back it up. Stick around because in the next few minutes we'll tear apart the missteps, the metrics and the missed core loops that turn Zoom from verb to afterthought. So let's talk mistake. First, the Big Bang bloat. Remember March 25, 2024 when Zoom flipped the switch and rebadged the classic client as Zoom Workplace. The press release promised an AI-powered collaboration platform. Translation: a single window stuffed with chat, calendar, mail, whiteboards, docs, spaces and 16 tooltips fighting for elbow room. Fire it up today on a mid-range laptop and the splash screen alone hesitates like a teenager asked to clean the garage. Click New Meeting and instead of a clean stage you are greeted by a left rail shouting about channels, an apps drawer on the right and a floating AI companion politely asking if it can write your agenda. Well, you're already late. By the time you find the actual start button, your guest has DM'd "we good" on Slack. The internet noticed. One early adopter on Reddit called the redesign bloated and lethargic, definitely not for the mass of people anymore, especially on low bandwidth connections. That sentiment snowballed into App Store rants about buried annotation tools and UI lag because nothing says future of work like a 10-second toolbar hunt. And here is the gut punch metric. Zoom's business customer counts slid from roughly 220,000 in 2023 to under 190,000 by Q4 2024, a 20% haircut in the very segment willing to pay. Meanwhile, daily meeting participation has flatlined at the same 300 million headline it bragged about back in 2020. Translation: more features, zero new eyeballs, fewer paying logos. Why did this happen? Because when every pixel screams for attention, nothing feels essential. With chat, docs, email and AI pops crammed into mission control, the original core loop, click, link, talk, leave got buried under feature confetti. Product teams tattoo that on your backlog. If the journey from join to hello is longer than the meeting itself, you are writing churn checks. Microsoft will happily cash. And guess what? This was only the first crack in Zoom's armor. Next up, the pricing strategy that made CFOs hit end meeting for good. Mistake 2 is the one that made finance teams split out their kombucha. Zoom spent 2 years bragging that AI companion would be included at no extra cost, the kind of line your CFO loves to quote in board decks. Then, last October, buried in a glossy Zoomtopia slide, the company slipped in a new $20 per user per month plus tier for the very same companion. Same icons, same smiley robot, just now holding a debit card. Picture Daniela, the finance lead at a 180-seat SaaS scale-up. She signs the renewal on Tuesday, assuming status quo. Wednesday morning, an adjusted prorated AI surcharge hits the statement, bumping the annual bill by 26 grand. Her Slack lights up with "what is Zoom Plus and why do we pay for it?" She slashes 55 stray licenses before lunch and quietly starts the team's proof of concept. And here is the fallout at scale. Zoom's trailing 12 months net dollar expansion rate for enterprise customers created from above 130% during the pandemic glory days to a flat 98% in fiscal 2025. Translation: every upsell dollar now has an equal and opposite downgrade. Enterprise logos grew just 1% last year, the corporate equivalent of a pity clap. Why? Because pricing isn't about what sounds innovative on stage, it's about what survives the CFO spreadsheet. Zoom chased optics, AI for everyone, then walked it back with nickel and dime menus that screamed uncertainty. Alright, deep breath because mistake 3 is the tragic sequel, the more is more feature Blitz. Zoom looked at Teams, Swiss Army knife, and decided to outknife the knife. Mail, calendar, spaces, whiteboards, clips, docs, you name it, they stapled it. But taking new rooms onto a house with faulty plumbing doesn't add value, it just spreads the leak. Boot up Zoom Mail today and you'll find a nice clean inbox with no third-party rules, no shared labels and a draft editor that makes Gmail from 2010 looks robust. Meanwhile, Clips, Zoom's answer to Loom, ships without end-to-end encryption on external shares. Metrics tell the same story. Despite nearly 3,000 apps in the marketplace, fewer than 1 in 5 enterprise seats enables any integration beyond calendar, according to Zoom's own investor slide footnotes. That's a glorified add-on rate of 90% against Microsoft's 50+% ecosystem attachment inside Teams. If features were Pokémon, Zoom keeps catching new ones but never leveling them up. The result, product surface area triples, while the reason to open the app barely moves. External meeting market share stalls at the same 300 million daily participants it boasted in 2020, a growth rate of exactly zero, because guess what? Customers don't measure innovation velocity, they measure solve problems. And there you have it, pricing trick shots and a feature buffet that left users stuffed but unsatisfied. The pattern behind all three mistakes points to something deeper, something strategic, and it's coming up next. Here is the real kicker. Inside Zoom HQ, the working theory is always ship more, shout louder, watch graphs go up. Executives chase team scale parity, VCs chant AI or die, and middle managers juggle quarterly OKRs like flaming pins. Designers beg for a breathing room sprint, but another top-down moonshot Monday decrease a whiteboard in meetings MVP by EOQ. Weeks later, the future limps out, nobody knows why it exists, and a Slack thread titled "We built this right?" sprouts 40 confused comments. That's the culture. Cloning rivals, worshipping launch dates, grading worth by dashboard vanity metrics, then acting surprised when the release lands with a thud. And somehow no one seems surprised when it flops again. So what do we, the product mortals, take from the slow motion faceplant? Lesson 1. Vision beats speed. If your roadmap reads like a shopping list of every competitor's SKU, congratulations, you are moving fast in circles. Nail the story first, sprint seconds. Lesson 2. Your core loop is not optional. Fancy AI transcripts mean nothing if join, speak, leave feels like trudging through wet cement. Defend that 3-click magic with the ferocity of an outraged war room. Lesson 3. Copying is not strategy. A clone feature arrives with borrowed context and zero soul. Users smell it, finance teams price check it, and you inherit every flow without the mode. Zoom's tail isn't a tragedy of code, it's a reminder that products rot from this strategy inwards. Ship without purpose, charge without clarity, pile on features like junk mail and even pandemic tailwords run out of lifts. But steer with conviction, honor the loop, and maybe, just maybe, you won't wind up as the next case study on this channel. If this saved you one late night daiquiri ride or a dozen gyro tickets, smash the like button or drop your own "we totally did that" confession below. Otherwise, I'll assume you love surprise add-on fees almost as much as surprise meetings.
Go on. You can say you love it.